Shepard spinning up. Howard put it up. Finds a cutting McDonald. Easy. Colson saw an opening. Finds a cutting
rim. How does Indiana lose Collier?
Mitchell. Now it's Howard having to go to work in the lane. Gordy Williams surveying the floor. It's Carlton setting up a turnaround.
Minnesota offense. All 5 players in the starting lineup are shooting 39% or better from 3.
That pass deflected and stolen. Williams to Smith for the lane. And here comes McDonald the other way.
What a pinpoint pass. Another one from Courtney Williams. Can you believe she didn't want to be a point guard at one point? He looks too good doing that.
This is Howard setting up McDonald. It's part for Carlton, but misses the lay-in. Howard bringing it up for Indiana. Mitchell. Mid-range. Money. Gives it up to McBride. 3-ball corner pocket.
Be hard to get open from 3.
Shooting 41% from downtown. McDonald hard drive. Puts it up in a Smith screen. Mid-range assassin.
No one takes more mid-range shots or has.
Behind the back. Howard wasn't ready.
Has played some quality time this season.
Williams for 3. Expanding the range. Pass into Fee. Backing down Howard. Uses the concept.
Done a nice job of that so far.
Indiana leading the WNBA in paint points per game. Collier kept the pivot. Out to Smith for 3.
Cheryl Reed with a double team comes to Nafisa Call.
Shot goes down. It is a 12-0 Lynx.
To see some turnovers, but Sydney Colson, a little bit more of a veteran at that point guard position, comes in to get them settled.
Right inside, Collier with the left goal. He's in long. They've got Williams and Heidemann in the backcourt. Nice pass, Bundakova with the lay-in.
And again, Courtney Williams using. I love the combination when the stud buds get into the game together. Courtney Williams, which is really where she's special, but she's been good.
Howard, double team, outside, cutting in for 3. Yes, Boston.
They have been able to get some backdoor cuts on the wing.
Mitchell at the free throw line. Colson up top, finds Boston. Boston. She's on the score. One compelling part of this Commissioner's Cup, the last 2 years at least, the teams that came 2 years ago, and Minnesota and New York last season.
They give you energy. Every time you get a touch of the offensive glass, it doesn't matter how everything else is going, that energy feeds into the rest of the team.
The stage was set for an unforgettable night, the WNBA Championship, where dreams are made and legends are born. Under the blinding lights and deafening roar of the crowd, the Indiana Fever and the Minnesota Lynx stood ready for the ultimate battle. Every pass, every shot, and every defensive stand would decide who claims the crown. This wasn't just a game. It was a final chapter of an entire season's struggle, sacrifice, and determination. And tonight, only one team would walk away as champions. Both teams enter the championship with incredible momentum, carrying the weight of their fans' hopes and the pressure of the season's biggest stage. The Indiana Fever, led by their unstoppable offensive firepower, had fought through every obstacle to stand here, proving they were ready for the moment. On the other side, the Minnesota Lynx brought their signature defensive grit and playoff experience, determined to claim another title. The atmosphere inside the arena was electric. Fans waving banners, chanting in unison, and creating an energy that could be felt from the court to the rafters. Every player knew that from the very first whistle, there would be no room for hesitation. From the opening tip-off, the intensity was undeniable. The Fever struck first with a lightning-fast drive to the basket, setting the tone for an aggressive start. The Lynx responded with sharp ball movement, finding open looks from perimeter and knocking down key shots to keep the game tight. Both teams traded baskets in a high-paced rhythm, neither willing to give an inch. The Fever's defense was locked in, forcing turnovers and converting them into quick points on the break, while the Lynx showcased their composure, slowing the game down when needed and capitalizing on half-court opportunities. As the first quarter buzzer sounded, the scoreboard reflected just how evenly matched these two powerhouses were, with the energy in the building reaching a fever pitch. The second quarter began with the Lynx looking to seize control, pushing the pace and finding success from beyond the arc. Their sharpshooters delivered back-to-back threes, forcing the Fever to call a quick timeout. But Indiana refused to back down. Their star players stepped up, attacking the paint, drawing fouls, and converting crucial free throws to swing the momentum back. The defensive pressure from both sides intensified, leading to a stretch where every possession felt like a battle. Midway through the quarter, a spectacular block by the Fever ignited the crowd, fueling a scoring run that brought them within striking distance. As the halftime buzzer approached, the score remained razor close, setting the stage for a dramatic second half with the championship still hanging in the balance. As the teams returned from halftime, the energy in the arena surged to new heights. The Fever came out firing, using quick ball movement and precision shooting to grab the lead for the first time since the opening minutes. Minnesota answered immediately, leaning on their veteran leadership to weather the storm and respond with a series of high-percentage shots in the paint. Every possession felt heavier than the last, with bodies diving for loose balls and defenders contesting every attempt. The crowd roared with each basket, feeding the players' determination. The momentum swung back and forth like a pendulum, but as the third quarter closed, neither side had managed to pull away, leaving the championship wide open heading into the final period. The final quarter began with both teams fully aware that the next 10 minutes would define their season. The Fever came out with relentless energy, pushing the ball in transition and knocking down a clutch three to ignite their supporters. But the Lynx refused to be rattled, answering with a well-executed pick and roll that resulted in an easy score. Every possession became a test of willpower. Defenses tightened, hands were in passing lanes, and every shot was fiercely contested. The crowd was on its feet, sensing that something special was about to unfold. With the clock ticking down, neither team could break free, setting the stage for a nerve-wracking finish that would decide the champion. With less than 2 minutes remaining, the tension was almost unbearable. The Fever clung to a slim lead, but the Lynx kept charging, finding a cutting lane for a quick layup that brought them within a single point. The next possession saw the Fever's star sink a cold-blooded jumper, sending the arena into a frenzy. Minnesota answered once again, drilling a contested three that silenced the crowd and flipped the lead in their favor. With under 30 seconds left, Indiana had one final chance. A perfectly executed play freed their shooter in the corner, and she buried the shot with ice in her veins. The Lynx had one last possession, but the Fever's defense stood tall, swatting away the final attempt as a buzzer sounded, sealing an unforgettable victory. The moment the buzzer sounded, the Fever players erupted in pure joy, rushing to center court to embrace one another as confetti rained down from above. Fans screamed, waved banners, and celebrated the team's hard-fought triumph. In the middle of it all stood the game's MVP, a performance for the ages, marked by relentless hustle, clutch shooting, and unwavering leadership when it mattered most. With tears in her eyes, she hoisted the championship trophy high, a symbol of every sacrifice, every late-night practice, and every ounce of belief that brought them here. The arena was alive with the sounds of victory, a moment that would be remembered for years to come. What a night it was, a championship game that delivered everything fans could hope for, heart-pounding drama, unforgettable plays, and two teams leaving everything they had on the court. The Indiana Fever, through grit, determination, and sheer willpower, emerged as champions, defeating the Minnesota Lynx in a battle that will go down in WNBA history. From the opening tip to the final buzzer, this was more than just a game. It was a showcase of passion, teamwork, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. Final score: Indiana Fever crowned champions, their names forever etched into the legacy of the league.